is Seema. I'm going to take chemistry for you, starting with the very first chapter, that is chemical reactions and equation. But before starting with the chapter, let us consider some example from basic life or some example from daily lives. Fermentation of grapes into wine. Milk when kept exposed at room temperature during summers. Iron nails when kept exposed to humid atmosphere. The process of cooking of food, and even the process like respiration, that is taking in of oxygen, giving out of carbon dioxide. In all these processes, does any change takes place? Yes, indeed, in all these processes, the natural identity of the original substances are being changed. And when you say that the natural identity of the original substances are being changed, such type of changes are called as the chemical change. And when a chemical change occurs, a chemical reaction is bound to take place. Starting with the chapter, that is chemical reactions and equations. But the question over here is, how do we know if a chemical reaction takes place? Okay, what tells us if a chemical reaction is taking place or not? Answer it. Very simple. Usually, it so happens that a chemical reaction is always accompanied by some features which can be observed easily. And these features which can be observed easily are called as the characteristics of chemical reactions. So let us understand those characteristics using simple examples or simple reactions. That is a reaction of zinc with sulfuric acid. Now this reaction experimental setup is very simple. It consists of a conical flask in which we are going to add zinc granules, and it is fitted with a cork and a glass tube. And with the help of a dropper, we are going to add dilute H2SO4, dilute sulfuric acid. Now look what happens when you add dilute sulfuric acid to zinc. Leads to formation of bubbles. And when is bubbles being formed? Whenever a gas is being released. That's not it. Besides that, if you try and touch the beaker, you'll realize that the beaker is hot, stating that some amount of heat might have been given out during the reaction, leading to change of temperature or elevation of the temperature. Now over here, we observe, very first observation was formation of bubbles. And formation of bubbles states that gas has been released or evolution of gas is taking place. Besides that, the beaker was hot, stating that the heat was given out during the process. That means there was a change of temperature. But besides that, there is a change of state. Now, how does that change of state take place? We added zinc granule, which is present in solid state, in which we added dilute sulfuric acid, which is present in liquid state, which led to formation of zinc sulfide, a liquid substance. So, from solid zinc to liquid solution, hence there is a change of state from solid to liquid. Let us consider one more example, that is a reaction of potassium iodide with lead nitrate. For this, we are going to take a test tube with lead nitrate solution, and to that lead nitrate solution, we are going to add obviously potassium iodide. And what happens when you add potassium iodide to lead nitrate? There is some change taking place, and that some changes, as you can look over here, is the change of color. From colorless solution, please note that the solution potassium iodide and lead nitrate, both of which are colorless. that led to formation of yellow colored solution. But along with that, you can see some particles lying at the base of the test tube. Those particles are of lead iodide. Over here we observed that a colorless solution got converted to a yellow colored precipitate. But what is this precipitate? Precipitate is a solid product which separates out from the solution during chemical reaction. And lead iodide was that solid product which got separated out from the solution. Hence, lead iodide is the precipitate, that yellow colored precipitate that was formed. Over here, the observation that we made were change of color from colorless to yellow colored substance, formation of precipitate of lead iodide. So here again we made two observation, two features which we could observe very easily. Hence, those being the characteristics. So let us revise through what are these characteristics of chemical reaction. Very first one includes the change of state from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Change of color can be any color. There is also formation of precipitate like it happened in the reaction of lead nitrate with potassium iodide, formation of precipitate. Also evolution of gas, and finally change in temperature. And these includes the characteristics of chemical reactions.